Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a beef shank soup. In Philippines, they call it sinigang. They usually use pork neck bones for the meat portion, but today we're going to be using beef shank cuts. I'm going to go through some ingredients that we use. We got a lemon, we got 2 onions, 2 tomatoes, some baby bok choy, and of course the tamarind soup base that kind of brings everything all together. We're also going to eat the soup with some white rice. This is a meal that my mom would make when we were children. We would have this literally like twice a week, maybe even 3 times a week, especially if it's cold outside like the winter. It would keep us warm, it would be filling, and yeah, let's get right into it. All right, before we do any chopping, what I'd like to do first is get our pot, get some water so we can start boiling. That's good. All right, put it over here. I like to put it real high. We'll leave the lid over here for now. So let that boil. So as I was saying earlier, we had the beef over here soaking in the water so that we have all that, just that excess bone marrow or even just like fragments of the bone to come off, and then we'll soak it afterwards. Cool. So while the water is boiling, I like to start with the onions first. Get a knife. I like to get this little skin, this layer here, just because sometimes it's hard to chew. Let's rinse these up. So how we cut the onions for the soup, usually people dice them, but for this, I like to keep it chunky. So just like that. So then at least we can break them up like this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut it in half just like that down the middle. So we keep the chunks like this. All right, so we're gonna put these over here just for now. Okay. We'll do, so boom, boom, simple enough. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Cut in half. There we go. So these will flavor the bone broth. So we'll keep that over here. We'll get another Tupperware for the tomatoes. So for the tomatoes, let's wash these down. Very good. Well, with the tomatoes, what I like to do to get everything, I like to cut the tip around like that. There you go. Another one here. Just like that. Boom. And then just like the onions, we want to keep the tomatoes chunky. So I'll cut them in half like that. Like this. Like that. Oh, I gotta sharpen my knife, man. Boom. And just cut them down the middle like that. So put them there. 1, 2 cuts there, 1 down the middle. Really easy stuff. There you go. Okay, so that's pretty much all what we need to cut, right? Very simple stuff. Now what we'll have to do is we just have to wait for this. Actually, once I start seeing the bubbles, I'll get my meat. So here we got the beef. Okay. So it's been soaking in this water for maybe half an hour. Okay. I'll get this meat and I will put it inside the water. Boom. And we're gonna let this pretty much boil. So what my mom used to do is she would have this boil for about 2 hours or an hour and a half. And we'll see you guys then. Okay, so it hasn't been an hour or an hour and a half at all. It's actually been maybe 10 minutes. So it was actually on high boil before. It was boiling, boiling, boiling. So once it's like this, what my mom used to do, she would get this and pretty much remove some of that water, because it's pretty much like cleaning it again, but cleaning like the bad stuff off. So we'll do that. Okay. I'll get that removed and pretty much put some more water in there. All right, we're good. We're gonna put it up to in between medium and high. Let it come to a boil again, and once it comes to a boil, we'll lower the heat. Yeah, we're just trying to soften the meat. All right, so actually, instead of just waiting for this meat to just soften, we're gonna make some rice. We're using some white rice, long grain. This is what we're using right now. You can use any white rice, or any rice you'd like, to be honest. You don't even have to use rice. So, just to make things easy, we're gonna simply get 1 cup, like that. Let's make 2 cups. The more the merrier. And also, our dog eats rice, so he's gonna need some too. All right, so what we're gonna do, don't make it too cold, make it like medium. We're gonna start cleaning the rice. This is how my mom taught me how to make rice. So basically you get the rice and you kind of massage it like this. You kind of get it in your hands and squeeze it. Almost like how you would squeeze like beach sand when you first go onto the beach. You just squeeze it, try to get all that starch out. See how the water is now turning white? You drain the water and you do it again. So you pretty much do this until the water is clear when you rinse it out. All right, that should be good. All right, now, what I learned from someone on YouTube, the amount of cups you put of rice is the same amount of water you put. So 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water. And what my mom taught me, and a lot of Filipino culture, what they do, is you put your hand inside the water and touch the surface of the rice. And what has to happen is it has to be up to here, right? Which it is. That should be good. So I'm gonna go to a rice cooker, put it in there, boom. White rice. So this will be done in maybe 35-40 minutes. Oh, check up our soup. Oh yeah, that looks good. Looks good, looks good. All that bone marrow now is going into the water, so it's making now the broth. I'm gonna turn this fan on now, because now you can see the steam coming up. And just let it do its thing for another, I'll say 45 minutes to an hour. All right. See you soon. Okay, we are back. It's been about 45 minutes. So as you can see, the pot has changed because I just switched it over. I realized that we're gonna need a bigger pot for these cuts, and also with everything that's gonna go inside of it. So it's still softening up. You can smell the broth, you can smell the beef. It smells really good. So at this stage, what I like to do is I'll get the onions that we cut up earlier and I will put them in here. So let's put the lid down there, Let's go. Put the onions in there. And then that will flavor the meat and the broth all at the same time as we continue to have that boil. All right, see you soon. All right, so while this is still boiling, it smells fantastic. Yummy, yummy. I'm gonna get this little bowl here. We are going to clean the baby bok choy. Open this up. All right, let's go clean this up. So what I do is I remove these. See how there's like little fragments of that here? Rinse it like that. That. Bok choy is very good for you. It's a very healthy vegetable. This is one of the first vegetables I started eating as a kid, just because of this soup. So this is a very nostalgic food for me. And just with the flavor with the soup, it tastes so good because all the flavor gets sucked in inside this crunchy stem here. And it's just so good. So good. Boom. Straight out like that. So this is going to be the last thing we put. I just wanted to clean it before anything else. We'll leave that there. Keep this for another day. And then next up is going to be putting the tamarind soup base inside of the soup. All right, so here we are, we're back. The meat is getting nice and soft. You can tell that the soup base is a lot lower. That's because I portioned some for my girlfriend to have her. She doesn't really like the tamarind soup base, so I separated some for her. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna keep the lid off for a little bit. And we're going to put the tamarind soup base now into the soup. All right. So I got this at a Chinatown. You can get this anywhere at your soup grocery store. I don't know if they have this at Walmart or like a No Frills. This is up in Canada. But usually if you go to a Chinatown, you can go to like the soup base aisle where it has all the different spices and different marinades. This gives it that tamarind sour flavor, which we all love. Okay, which I love. So here I go. So boom. So I like to put maybe 80% of the package in there first. Leave the rest for later. So here. Now I just mix it. I'm just gonna give it a nice mix. Now you can see that the broth is like almost browny, which is really good. So that's where all the marrow from the bone is in, right? You can smell that. Like, I'm gonna even just have a sip of this right now. Hold on. Oh yeah. That's amazing. All right. All right, guys, we're back. It's been about maybe 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna put the tomatoes in here now. It's looking good, it's looking soft. So we got the tomatoes. Here we go. Boom. That's good. Like I said earlier, I put the tomatoes in once I know that the soup is gonna be good. Maybe another 15-20 minutes and we should be good to serve. The rice is actually complete. Let me just check it out. Beautiful, that's good. So we're gonna have that. And we're gonna put the bok choy in there shortly, okay? All right, guys, we are back. It's been literally 5 minutes. The tomatoes are here now, soaking in, mixing in with the soup, getting that sweet flavor in there. And I think it's about time. We're gonna get our bok choy. And now, I'm gonna move this aside here. We're gonna put the bok choy into the soup now. So here we go. Boom. Boom. Just like that. I'm gonna also give some to my girlfriend and hers. Okay. So there we go. Get the spoon. I'm gonna let it go inside a little bit. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Yes. And instead of putting the lid, I'm just gonna leave it out like this so that, you know, it can steam upwards and let it go. I don't want the bok choy to be too soggy like I do, but when I serve it, I still like that crunch from the stem. So I'm not gonna leave it in there for too long. Look, see now, you can see the beef is so soft that it's now just falling off from the bone. I'm leaving it to be in the bottom still, just so that the bok choy can have some of the surface level. All right, so that's pretty much good. What I'll do is I'm gonna put the rest of the tamarind in there. Okay. Gonna give it a final mix with the bok choy, with everything really. Now that looks good. You can see the beef trying to come up top. It's like, what about me? There you go, see? Boom. And you can tell, look, see that inside of the beef, that inside part of the bone is now dispersed in the soup, and that's where the most flavor is at. So that's gonna be delicious. So look at that. Gonna have a little taste. Oh yeah. Ready to be served. All right, last step. This is what my mom did back in the day. So she would cut up a lemon and just simply, boom, just a little bit. She loves things that are sour. So she would get a whole half of a lemon and boom. Good thing my son likes sour stuff too, so. All right, so that's gonna be in there. And that's pretty much it, guys. Look at that. That looks amazing. All right. All right, I'm ready to plate this. Let's get a bowl. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get some rice. Okay, that's nice and soft. There we go. Yep. Gonna get our little spoon. And then what I like to do is I like to get actually hold on. Let me turn this off now, because this is good. Turn the fan off. I'm gonna get that broth in there first. Yes. Actually, I'm gonna put this over here because it's gonna burn. It's gonna be hot in the bottom of that bowl. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's some of that meat, that beef shank. There you go. This is what I like to call comfort food. This is a perfect, honestly, this is a perfect meal for when it's cold outside, like the winter. This is perfect for just, you know, just a comforting meal for even with the family. So I usually have it with the spoon. I'm gonna try some of this. What I like to do is I get this. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Yummy. All right, so this is the soup. Here it is. Mmm. Oh, that's good. That is beefy. That is tender. Gonna have some of that beef. Some of that bok choy. Like I said, all that flavor is now in the stem. That's delicious. Yum. Yummy. This is perfect for the winter and just a good overall supper meal, even for the lunchtime. But yeah, that's how I make it. This is how my mom prepared it, and this is how I'll continue to make it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you really liked it. If you like more of this content, please subscribe. This is going to be focusing more on healthy dishes. See, I chose a beef shank just because I know that the beef has more protein than what we usually use, which is the pork neck bone. So I'm going to have another bite before we go. Yum. All right. Anyways, take care, guys. See you in the next one.